runs. It runs. All right. Alright guys, what's going on? We're back here with another video, and as you can see, we have power in the 72. As you just saw, we got this thing to fire up, but before we go in too much depth of what this is and how I got it, I think we need to rewind and cover some stuff that's happened since the last video. The last time you saw this car, we had just set it back on the ground as a roller, which was a huge success, and since then, obviously it has power now. So let's rewind and take a look at some of the stuff that's happened since the last time you've seen it. So the first thing that happened since the last time you've seen it is we put the motor in transit. We've actually been hiding this motor in trans in the carport in the driveway in the back of my pickup truck for a few weeks from you guys. I've been sitting on it, but we installed the motor in trans. All right, well I think we're about ready to yank this thing out of the back of the truck here. It's all unstrapped, and like if you were doing the right thing here, you'd probably like power wash this thing. But it's we just got home from vacation. It's like 3-4 o'clock on a Sunday, so nobody's open, so I can't get any gunk. So we're just gonna smash it in the car, all dirty and oily. It'll be fine. And actually, I'm probably gonna need a hand. Maybe I could do it by myself. I'll just ask Rebecca. Rebecca! Hey, can you help me put the motor in the car?
Sure, I guess.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be there in a second. Sweat a little. You want this to be on top of that? All right, come back. Touch it.
Another thing that we've installed in the meantime is we have actually gone ahead and put a gas tank, sending unit, and a fuel line in this thing. So this thing now runs off of its own fuel system. Fill it. All of it in there? Why not? We'll move all of that after that. Whoa, slow down. Oh, it's all down into my armpits. Okay, continue the dangle. Let's get down. You want me to lay in this while we try and work with fire? We've actually, for the first time ever, taken apart those drum brakes that came off of my 69 that are on this car now. We opened them up and replaced the wheel cylinders and the brake hoses and bled the brake system, so now the brake system on this car is fully functional. Alright guys, down here putting in a few minutes on the Nova, and this is the first time on these old drum brakes that I've ever taken the drums off, and boy did I really have to like smash them off there. So check it out. Ooh, they're crusty, still desert fresh. And look at that tarantula in there. Yikes. But for what it's worth, those pads look pretty fresh. I mean, I drove that car around for 4 months with these brakes on it and never once looked at it. And I was gonna try and get away with not rebuilding anything or even looking at them for this car, because I didn't want to sink any money into the drum brakes, not knowing if we'd upgrade them later on or not. But unfortunately, I can't get the master cylinders bled, so I'm pulling them. The bleeder screw is broken off of the one over there, so it is what it is. They gotta come apart. But just, is that another one? 2 tarantulas. Yikes. They've been in there. They're like dinosaurs. Okay, back to work. All right, so I just got done replacing all the brake hoses and wheel cylinders in this thing. I didn't want to take any of the brakes apart, but couldn't get them bled, so here we are changing out all the wheel cylinders and all the brake hoses. Fancy. But now I gotta bleed brakes, and there's no one here to help me bleed brakes. Well, time out. There is someone here to help me bleed brakes. Daniel, hey, can you help me, bud?
You have to let me have the camera.
Hopefully this goes better than the seats.
Do I?
All right, Daddy's gonna be under the car, okay?
Okay.
And what you're gonna do is, you see the brake pedal? Not the Bigfoot pedal.
No. This one?
Yeah, you have to pump that.
And we want to pump you up.
Okay, you're gonna pump it like 3 times, and then you're gonna hold it all the way down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think you can handle it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna close the door, all right?
Hi guys. What's up? Daddy, ready to press yet?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll tell you when. Okay, pump it.
1, 2,
Go all the way down.
3, and go.
Okay, hold it. All right, cool dude, pump.
Ah!
Wait, go slow, not crazy.
I'm pressing it down all the way. Can I do it with my foot? I'm pumping it all the way.
Go all the way to the floor, big pumps. Yep, 1, 2, let it all the way out. 3. Why don't you sit in the seat, dude? Why don't you sit in the seat?
I did 3 pumps.
Still holding it?
Yep. I'm holding it.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Are you pumping?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you holding?
Yeah. It's getting harder and harder.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's good. That means the brakes are working. And lastly, we're just starting to go through engine wiring. So if you guys want to see an in-depth video on the engine wiring and where stuff goes and how it hooks up and whatnot, drop something down in the comments. We could do a separate video just to cover the engine wiring, so let me know. Now that you've seen, you're caught up to this point, let's talk about what this is. So this is a 1968 327 2-barrel with a 2-speed powerglide. I know what you're thinking. There's not a lot of power here. But let me explain. So in today's day and age, LS swaps are the most common thing that everybody is doing to their ride.
Get in the car.
Everybody's doing it.
Now.
Okay.
And you know what that's leaving up for grabs? It's leaving hundreds of these all over the country, and there's nothing wrong with these. I mean, this is a nice unit. This thing came out of a 68 Camaro. We went and checked out the car before they yanked the motor trans out. So we showed up, we fired it up, we shifted it, we drove it. This thing is a solid little unit. And we got it for cheap, like really cheap. So the idea when you're gonna buy a used motor from somebody, especially if you're just trying to do it on the cheap and smash it in your car, you want to get this thing as complete as humanly possible. So we picked up this motor, carb to pan. We were missing a few things that we thought came with the deal. They didn't. That's besides the point. But anyway, we had to put a starter in it. I needed an alternator, and I was missing 1 or 2 of the brackets. But other than that, this was a complete unit. We did go ahead and replace a couple of the gaskets. It's got new exhaust manifold gaskets in it. I mean, other than that, we've done nothing. Now, there are some things, if you pick up a motor like this, that you might have to change or move to make it fit with your application. But for the most part, The fact that this came out of a Camaro and we shoved it in the Nova, the cars have the exact same subframe, so everything went really smooth and slid right in, and plus it's a Chevy. Chevys are always 7 times easier to work on than everything else. For what we have into this is going to be a great little runner. At least in the meantime, so we can move the car, drive the car, enjoy the car, and then make upgrades later on. So this is going to get the ball rolling, and this is the cheapest way to shove a V8 in your car. Because let's be honest, the 327, it's not the 350, so it's not pulling the same money that the 350 is. It's a 2-barrel, so not a lot of people are paying a lot of money for the 2-barrel. And it's a powerglide. Nobody, drag racers want the powerglide, but not that powerglide. Drag racing powerglides are built up. They are not stock 72 or 68 or whatever powerglides. Anyway, that's what we put in this thing. These things are popping up all over the internet for cheap, and I mean, the best way to do it would be to find somebody who hasn't pulled it yet. The best way to buy a used motor is to go and see and hear the motor and check it out, or buy it from somebody that you know and trust. I wouldn't super highly recommend buying a motor that's sitting under somebody's shelf for 20 years and paying over $1,000 for it. In today's day and age, with the LS swaps being so common, these things are popping up everywhere. So go and get yourself a cheap small block, shove it in your ride, and hit the road. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Stay tuned. We've got more coming up. We've got wiring, we've got exhaust, we've got cooling system. We're going to get this thing on the road real soon, so make sure you're there to see it. All right, we'll see you guys next time.